Good evening, Andrew Sloss with Sloss Career Coaching. I'm a certified senior professional career coach. And today I want to talk to you about understanding the importance of where you should be working. Most individuals have experienced the stress and anxiety of a toxic workplace. At Sloss Career Coaching, we help people escape toxic workplaces, which results in renewed confidence and a thriving career. So, what do I mean? What I mean is that as you go through your career, you should start to develop a good understanding of the kind of companies that are a good fit for you. And I don't necessarily mean Google versus Microsoft, although that can be one of them. What I really mean is for you as a professional and as a person, do you do better in small organizations? Do you do better in medium organizations? Or do you do better in large organizations or super large organizations? And it just kind of depends both on, it might depend on the industry you're in, but even then, it's going to depend a lot on just your own personal style, your own personality, things like that. And it becomes very important because you will find that some people will really waste a lot of time in their career and really bang their head against the wall in organizations that are so big or so small that it was never going to be a good fit for them no matter how good they were at their jobs. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this is because that has been my own personal experience in my corporate career. Um, I've worked for some very large organizations. I've worked for ADP, I've worked for Baker Tilly, I've worked for Ernst and Young, um, and I've worked for some small organizations. I was the CEO of a nonprofit that was less than 5 people. I've worked for small consulting or accounting firms that were less than 200 people, less than 100 people. And I'm just here to tell you that for me, working in small organizations has never been a good fit. Um, it's never worked out in small organizations for me for lots of different reasons, but some of them are very consistent. So, I mean, for me, I am a very strong personality. I have a very strong personality. I'm a strong leader. As lots of people will tell you, I don't take shit from anybody and I stand up for myself. And a lot of times in small organizations, you are going to run into another strong personality who's not used to someone else standing up to them. And it typically doesn't go well because that person typically is someone who is either the owner of the company, married to the owner of the company, related to the owner of the company. And it doesn't matter how good you are at your job or how talented you are. If you run up against them personality wise or work wise, it's going to be your butt on out the door. It's not going to be theirs because they're the owner. They know the owner. They're related to the owner. The nepotism there is going to ensure that you are not going to survive in any sort of power struggle or any sort of struggle whatsoever. So it's important to understand, and it was important for me, and I had to learn the hard way. And I didn't learn. It took me a long time to learn the hard way that for me, the best fit for me is in a large organization. Large organizations are not perfect. I'm not saying that they're perfect. They're definitely not perfect. They have lots of issues, just like small ones do. But the issues that cause problems for me in small companies typically don't exist in large companies. So, for instance, um, when there is some sort of power dynamic issue or there's conflict in a large organization, a lot of the other people that work there, the executives, the leadership, the partners, they're very well versed in conflict resolution. They understand that conflict happens and they don't take that conflict personally, even if it's not about them, if it's not with them, they still don't take it personally. They understand that in large organizations, there's multiple types of personalities, and sometimes people just aren't going to get along, and they understand that. And the fact that people don't get along in a large organization is never going to be the sole cause for someone to be fired or let go. They understand that it's important to work through those issues, and they usually have the tools and resources that allow you to work through those issues. Whereas in those small companies, they typically don't have the resources. The HR team there at a small company is probably going to be one person, maybe two full time people, and a few part time people, all people who are not interested in trying to make sure that two people who are not getting along get along in the future. They would much rather just, you know, cut bait and run and just get rid of one of the people that are causing the conflict. Whether they're legally entitled to do that doesn't matter. That's typically what happens. And so in large organizations, they're not going to do that most of the time. They're going to sit down, try to work through a resolution, And even if a resolution can't be reached at, typically someone might get put on a performance improvement plan, a PIP, and that will still preserve their employment. They still have a chance to kind of improve their behavior, work through the conflict, whatever the case may be, and get to a point where they're no longer on a PIP and they're a contributing member to that large organization. So I just give that all as an example to say that in your own career, it's important that you understand where do you best fit in. Do you fit in better with a small organization? Do you fit in better with a large organization? Why or why not? Try to figure that out, because I've worked with clients who have gone through kind of a revolving door of working for large companies, or they've gone through a revolving door working for small companies, and they can't quite figure out what is it about that type of company that makes it not work out. Now, in some situations, it was because of some choices they made. It didn't work out, but a lot of times I'm able to sit back and identify with my clients patterns that I notice. Not Sometimes it's patterns of behavior, of course, but a lot of times it's not patterns of behavior. It's patterns of companies and some of the challenges that small companies have, and some challenges that large companies have. And lots of times, that's where I've been able to identify with my clients, like, hey, you keep trying to go into these small organizations of less than 200 people and it's not working out. This is why it's not working out, because of these things that these organizations all have in common. And lots of times my clients just can't see it. They can't see the forest through the trees, so to speak. Same thing with a large one. So again, it's really important that you spend some time really thinking about what type of organization are you a good fit in, because you want to make sure that whenever you do land that next role, that you're in that type of organization that's going to play to your strengths and also help limit your weaknesses. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you found this insightful and you want to schedule a free coaching session with me, you can find the link in my bio. You can also email me at andrew@slossconsulting.com. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at sloss_career_coaching on all my socials. And happy to talk to you, happy to help you with your career. But until next time, catch you soon.